Welcome to the CW Comic Book Crew. I'm your host, Chris Hoffman. And of course, I got my crew here. I got Dez, Brandon, Rob, and of course, Cecily. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it today, but we got a jam-packed show today.
We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. Let's talk about the show that just doesn't get enough love, even though we kind of talk about it every week.
We do.
But I really think if you haven't watched the show, now is the time, because last week's episode was probably the best episode they've ever done. Whoa. And I am talking about DC Legends of Tomorrow.
Wow.
It was a fantastic episode. Now, first and foremost, one of the top main characters dies off the top.
What?
Yeah. But no,
I know.
it was such a lackluster killing. It was very Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Like, it was very like, well, he's dead. Moving on.
Just sweep it up next time.
It was kind of sad, but it kind of lost the mojo off that. But then we go into these crazy stories, and the biggest news out of it is Constantine is now part of the show.
Yes.
Officially. If you haven't followed Constantine, you need to go on the CW Seed app and on the website cwc.com. Check out all of season 1.
Yeah.
And then the newest series, which is an anime series, City of Demons, which is really fun. I don't know if any of you guys have watched it. It's really fun.
I've watched bits and pieces of it.
It's good. It's really good. My only gripe is Harold Perrineau is not in it. He's one of my all-time favorite actors. I loved him since Oz. I did. I thought he was fantastic. Yeah. That's why I really my love for him. I mean, he plays a big part.
Which Oz?
The only Oz that matters.
Okay, just make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, the Oz with lots of men that turns into SVU later on.
Yeah.
No, Harold Perrineau is in the original series of Constantine. He does a fantastic job. I'm hoping they bring him in for this next season. He plays kind of an integral role. I think you all need to go on Seed and check that out.
Were you surprised?
Was I surprised? No, absolutely not. I thought for sure they wanted to keep the character going.
Yeah, once they announced it, I mean, like, it was kind of like, it was going to do well because people were so upset, like, when the actual, like, live action series was canceled.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
bringing them back in some form, fans have been wanting, so yeah, they're going to keep that
And I think they'll actually do another season of it. I think they're trying to test the waters. The original Constantine on the Seed looks amazing. They put a lot of money in it. Like, there's a very cool scene with Harold Perrineau opening the gate and everything stops, including the rain. It's very cool. It's actually, CW posted it 5 days ago. They're posting stuff on Constantine, trying to tell us, you need to tell everybody about Constantine, because I think they're trying to rev it up.
They pulled the plug too soon.
They really did.
There's one series that we can't get enough of.
No one can get enough of it. And finally, after many weeks of like saying it's going to happen, it's happening, this week we will finally see the Riverdale Musical special.
Carrie the Musical.
Carrie the Musical. We've been talking about this for at least 4 or 5 weeks now. This is going to be a fun episode. I think it's going to be, what else can we say? I think it's just going to be something that pulls us all in. We're all going to be excited to see it. It's Wednesday. I know
it's almost like Glee meets Riverdale, I guess, right?
It's true. It's true.
The musical we never knew we needed. We'll see how the show does after this. I'm sure it'll do really well with a whole new audience.
Yeah. I hope it's not like, like sometimes when they do musical episodes in a series that is not musical, sometimes it's kind of like a one-off. It's like, oh yeah, that was just for that episode, but we're never going to adjust it again. Hopefully, it continues into the story.
I think, well, because they're doing it as a high school play, I think it'll work a little better than like the Scrubs musical, where you're just like, wait, what?
Well, I'm sure.
Again, on the musical, we didn't know we needed, but we got it. We loved it.
You know, around the station, we always break into song
all the time, all the time.
I'm sure they'll add access to the story. I feel like this thing's not going to be able to go off without a hitch, and it'll be able to provide the story.
Yeah,
this is instant cliffhanger material here.
So. It really is. News from the Supergirl front. It's officially been renewed. We will see another season of Supergirl. I think it's a good call. It's a good chess move. More so than ever, I think it'll be cool seeing it into the crossover episodes, because Supergirl is such a good, integral part of those crossovers.
And it's returning tonight.
It is tonight.
I can't wait.
So
she actually works. It works like with Superman. It's so hard to put Superman into a crossover just because of how OP he is.
Sure.
Yeah. I love how like I love how like they've kind of tapered off like Supergirl's powers, like she'll fit in the universe still, even though we know how powerful she is, but she still kind of fits in with everyone else.
It's a lot like the comic series. Like, Superman lets her do her thing. He knows things are safe with her around, but she has a lot of learning to do, and he's more of a mentor than
it feels easier too that way because of the learning curve of she's still in the same boat that the Flash and all the other guys are, where they're still young, they're still learning their abilities and how to master them. And so if Superman showed up, he'd just probably be like, all right, step back, let me do this.
Right.
I got this.
And dealing with their emotions, that's a big thing. Like, Supergirl has to deal with big emotions like love and fear and hatred. and she's still young enough to kind of deal with those in a positive way and know that she's gone over on one way or another. So it's very interesting. I think it's cool.
Sure.
I'm hoping a lot for this next season that they've announced. So it should be cool.
Yes.
Last thing I want to talk about on the form of CW is we will see the season finale of Black Lightning, which has been renewed, of course.
Yes.
We've talked about that, but Black Lightning will return.
But the biggest show to come out this season.
It's been huge, man. We've had a lot of fun watching it. If you haven't watched it, go on the CWC, catch up a little bit. This last episode will definitely be something to not want to miss. It's
Sure.
I mean, I'm kind of dumbfounded about how to pitch it because I think it's such a cool show that if you haven't been watching, you're behind the ball in this. So you need to get in. That's it.
Well, another thing we've been kind of, teasing the whole season is whether we're going to see Joker.
Will we
see Joker on Gotham? And
we don't want to.
we got an answer. We got
we have an answer.
Let's watch the entirety of the scene of the Joker being revealed. Let's check this out.
Hello, brother. Didn't think you could get rid of me so easily, did you? See, my days were numbered, but you... Oh, you can continue on for me. Be my ultimate revenge. So, calm yourself. Don't fight it. Breathe it in. This gas was a special mixture I had made, just for you. Something to finally set you free. It's time to have some fun. Burn it down, brother. Burn it all down.
Wow.
It's the most Gotham scene I've seen.
With a little help from Scarecrow, it's like we finally have our Joker.
It was great because like when I was upstairs like working and I looked up and I saw this final scene, I was like, oh! And I was like, Brandon, we gotta talk about this Monday. We gotta talk about this Monday.
Yeah. It's a cool way of doing it. I'm kind of, I don't know. I feel like doing the half of the twin brother thing, like. Maybe you could have put a little more hints in throughout the series that, hey, he has a brother. Or like maybe in a file on a desk where you're like, oh, he has a brother. We should go talk to him.
Yeah.
There's like 2 episodes.
Here's a dude blowing up cities.
Yeah.
Oh, he has family? Maybe we should go hang out with them, see what they know.
No.
The worst detectives in the world, apparently, are in Gotham.
Yeah, that's always been the case, though.
That's all I can think of. I'm like, no one thought
Gordon's
to go
got to
check
focus on getting that gritty voice that he always has to do, which I dislike very much so.
I thought it's a cool idea. I think we're going to see, now essentially we have 2 Jokers, like Jerome, who's not the Joker, and Joker, his brother, who's the Joker. Will we see Red Hood, though? That's my more important question, because I'm a big fan of that lore of the Red Hood kind of thing.
Maybe I was getting a little ahead of the curve here. I guess we got to figure out how bad this guy's going to be as the Joker. But I mean, they're kind of going the same route, similar maybe to the comics, I guess, a little bit, because currently there's still this storyline that hasn't been finished, where it's the 3 Jokers that are out. They've kind of exposed some of them as not being the legit one. But, I mean, it's still an open-ended story that's been going on for a few years now.
Open-ended is only like a tip of the iceberg for this.
But yeah, Gotham, I mean, they're trying to figure out, trying to find their footing.
And they're carving their own path on it. And I think that's interesting. I kind of said that, I've said that from the beginning. They're carving their own path. It's a Batman noir kind of thing. And this makes sense. It infuriates me when I see shoddy detective work. It's so bad.
Of course, are we going to see Bruce Wayne take that even bigger step?
Well, they need a detective. That's very clear. So
because they're lacking.
Right. So I give him a break because he's a kid.
Right.
Stuff falls through the cracks. I feel like Batman would be like, yo, he has a brother. Let's go.
Let's look into that.
Knock on the door at least.
It's time.
I thought that was cool. I thought the homage to Scarecrow, and I thought definitely having the Wayne Industries on there really puts a
love it. It lulled him in. I was like, oh, this must be from
And
Bruce.
more importantly, it directs his hatred. Because that's the last thing he sees before he goes insane. Of course, he hears his brother, but the last thing he sees is Wayne Industries. So now he's focused in on the people who just did this to him. So I thought that was really cool.
But it kind of puts your plan or whatever out of whack. you can't have Joker without having Batman, technically, you know. But
Right, again,
I love the little nuance
carve that line
did.
in the sand,
Yes.
do your own thing. I thought it was cool. And he looks awesome. We got to see just the smile, the hair turns kind of green.
Yep.
He looks really good. And of course, that suit, the purple tie, the green shirt, the suit's there.
I love it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to be the other way around, where Joker's going to cause the need for Batman.
Right.
And
I think
so
it's-
maybe
yeah.
it'll be his final step to like, all right, I got to put the costume on now.
Right,
I'm obviously
sure.
way too young to be fighting crime, but I mean, like,
well, at least
I
he
guess
could do his-
Robin
Never
used to.
Right. At least he could.
Yeah, but Robin had like, you know, acrobatic
Batman.
skills.
Could
and
be
stuff.
like a soap
Yeah.
opera
Batman's
where
still
he
whiny.
ages like in one episode he ages like 2 years, or
Yeah.
5 years.
All right, so let's move on to the Netflix side of things.
Sure.
Big news of Jessica Jones being renewed.
Yes.
Her second season did really well. Of course, Defenders still up in the air. We'll see another season of Defenders. I assume
Right.
we will. They're all pieces
Oh yeah.
there.
Well, the next up is Luke Cage. We've got Luke Cage coming out.
I'm excited about that. I'm hoping
I
they
can't
don't
wait
mess
for
it
that.
up. I hope it's not so socially awkward for every time he hits the screen. We'll see hip hop music play. I hope they do something cool because I really love this Luke Cage. I hated Luke Cage in
Yeah.
Defenders.
Yeah.
It was that simple.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's cool.
And we got Daredevil coming up in the fall, and then I'm thinking, you know,
Punisher.
we got Punisher. We got Punisher coming up. We also got Iron Fist.
Yeah.
In, early
Yeah.
next
Let's hope
year.
Iron Fist does better this year too. I
just
can't
fix
imagine.
your choreography. Just
Only
fix
way
your
to go, but
choreography.
up, maybe. I'm hoping.
That's true.
So.
That's very true. Other big thing that was all over social media, so we wanted to talk about it too.
Sure.
We got some live set photos from the Teen Titans new live-action TV show. First, we're going to start with Beast Boy and Raven. What is? They don't look bad. They look very teen, very 90s, kind of hacker-like.
Okay.
Not terrible. This is all
Johnny Lee Miller
contextual.
and
Sure.
Angelina
Yeah.
Jolie over
This
here.
is the word of the day,
They're
contextual, because we don't know what
they're
the scene is
walking to
about.
the set, maybe,
Right, we don't
who
know if this is
knows?
on camera, off camera, what. Very interesting stuff. Here's the problem, and I think we all agree on the same problem. What could have been Starfire? Let's take a look at what could have been Starfire. This is how we all know her and love her. Very
Yes.
scantily clad, but it's part of the territory. I want to point out the interestingness of the photo I chose. But we'll move forward.
Very interesting photos.
This is what we got. This is Starfire.
And
She doesn't...
reaction.
Look, I don't want to say it, but she looks like she's on Times Square trying to get a ride home. She doesn't look. I'm trying to be PG about it. I'm trying to be PG as I can. She doesn't look good, and I don't got a problem with much of what she's wearing. It's just she doesn't look good in that.
No.
Again,
Yeah.
contextual.
She doesn't look super.
Well, we don't know what the dress she's wearing. It's this club scene.
Right.
They're outside. They're waiting for the
Could
shot
be.
to start. She's wearing a fur coat. We don't know if that's her fur coat as an actress or her character's fur coat.
Yeah.
If it's
Sure.
her character's, she definitely doesn't look good. The high boots, the dress,
Sure.
the hair, it doesn't look good.
Right.
And there was so much hope for this character to be good. Again, contextual. Maybe this is just
Right.
something to throw us all off, but it don't look good.
Sure.
I want it to look good. It don't look. Beast and Raven I can accept.
All we want is the original Teen Titans Teen Titans, the original cartoon
Right.
series to be back on Cartoon Network.
We pretty much
all I
had
want.
reshoots and everything,
Right.
you know,
I mean-
lately. Maybe we're going to see some reshoots or
the thing we haven't seen, and the thing
Yeah.
that's holding all these puzzle pieces together with the glue it is we haven't seen Robin.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of things about Robin looking really good in the show, or they're
Right.
focusing a lot on how he looks and how he's portrayed. So that could be the glue that holds us all together, and we're not so concerned about
Right.
why
I mean,
Starfire
I
looks
want
like
to have
she's about
faith
to
in
get
this.
Biggie
I mean,
Yeah.
Jeff Johns is the head
Yeah.
of this project, so I mean, no one knows how to write comics as good as Jeff Johns.
Sure.
For the
It's
most
true.
part. But this is not good.
No.
there's a difference between writing
Yeah.
and shooting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can be have an amazing script, but shoot it like it is terrible.
And Jeff Johns has also, which I guess is kind of hurting the argument for him, is he's been on the production for all the DC movies so far.
Yeah,
so
they ain't
hoping
Right.
they're like,
That's not helping his credibility.
maybe
ain't
it's not
helping
going
at
to
all.
be
We have
his
a
thing,
question
I don't
before
know.
we move on,
Yeah.
and sticking in the DC realm here is we got a question from Tony Hernandez, one of our fans. Do y'all think the DC Shazam movie is going to be another disappointment, of course, with the Jeff Johns?
Yeah.
What are we seeing and what are you thinking before we go into the theaters? What do you think?
No.
I'm with
No,
Des. I don't. I think it's such an open book because we haven't seen Shazam since the late 70s, mid 70s, right? Am I
Yeah,
right?
this is late 70s, yes.
And in terms of comics, they've used them in some things, maybe
Right.
a little more recently in the 2000s and stuff. But I mean, with Tony asking the question, I mean, it's something that people want to work.
It's more.
Are we
like
going to
they
have
want it to
ISIS
work.
next?
But yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Right.
But I mean, it's just Zachary Levi. I just don't buy him.
But it works though. I mean, like DC does like one thing they kind of have been done
Yeah.
well lately is just like the big names, like individual movies. We're not
Yeah.
talking about Justice League.
Sure.
We're talking about Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I'll disagree to a point. I think they've done really good at making characters that don't necessarily sing. Case in point, Aquaman. Aquaman looks and sounds phenomenal. And that was the thing that really made the Justice League kind of cool.
Helped.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. They made it work. I think they can do the same with Shazam,
But
even with all
the,
these
with
problems.
the stills, have y'all not seen the Halloween costume he's got on with the muscles?
Again, all contextual. We don't know how much of that is going to be CGI'd over and stuff like that.
I do understand
or
that,
how much of that actually is going to be in the movie. It could be mostly about the
How
kid
well they did him in
getting his powers.
Injustice.
But I mean, I guess what I worry too is like when he start bringing in magic, how that's gonna look.
Just give me a Santana solo movie. I'm good to go. I mean, the girl needs to shine. I'm sorry. Santana needs her own movie. I've been saying that for years.
I think I said the same thing about Doctor Strange though. So you shouldn't bring magic into the universe. How does it work? They kind of pulled it off.
Can't do magic like
I can't disagree. They pulled it off.
But if you look at it, like a lot of people view Doctor Strange as one of the worst Marvel movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you
put that being said,
it's a beautiful looking film. But
that being said, he plays an integral part in the Infinity Gauntlet, and they had to do it to get to there. They can't just have. So yeah, maybe it's the worst movie. I don't like it. I'm not a huge Doctor Strange fan. I've never been. However, when I looked at his movie, the last thing I thought put me in that movie was, oh, he's doing magic. Like I didn't even come. That was such second nature. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. There was way other problems in that movie other than, oh, it's magic. Like weird hand signs. Like it didn't once hit me in a weird way. There's other parts of that movie, and more so other parts. And when he showed up in Thor and Black Panther, I was like, oh, that's weird.
But
again, I knew bigger picture. We
hope Shazam works.
Yeah. Well, sticking with the big screen here, we're going to move on. And I know me and Des have been waiting for this. I think the rest of the crew is. But Incredibles.
Haters!
Incredibles 2 finally gets an official trailer. And I think it was
like
10
amazing, years in the making.
We got to see this.
Yeah, let's watch it.
We got to see this.
Let's watch it.
Did you wash your hands? With soap? Did you dry them?
What? Is this all vegetables? Who wanted all vegetables?
I did. So, are we going to talk about it?
What?
The elephant in the room.
What elephant?
Mom's new job.
It's time to make some wrong things right. Help me bring supers back into the sunlight. We need to change people's perceptions about superheroes, and Elastigirl is our best play.
Better than me?
Whoa! I like Mom's new job.
Bye, sweetie.
I'll watch the kids, no problem.
That's not the way you're supposed to do it, Dad. They want us to do it this
I don't
way.
know that way. Why would they change math? Math is math.
Okay,
Math
Dad.
is math. Hello?
Hey, honey.
How are the kids?
Everything's great.
Is she having adolescence?
And Jack?
He's in excellent health.
What the?
Num-num cooking.
Oh, my God.
Cooking.
Wow, gay. That is freaky.
You know it's crazy, right? To help my family, I gotta leave it. To fix the law, I gotta break it.
You've got to, so our kids can have that choice.
Thank you, young man.
Combustion imminent? What does that mean? Ah!
It means fire, Robert.
The screenslaver interrupts this program for an important announcement.
Suit up. It might get weird.
I'll be there ASAP.
Where you going ASAP? You better be back ASAP.
He knew his wife had to be in this. Oh, wow. I love it. This is like a superhero Mr. Mom. I love it. It's almost like a superhero Mr. Mom.
Between Avengers coming up real quickly.
Yep.
I don't know what we're going to do this summer.
Yeah.
We still don't have a lot of content.
Ant-Man, Wasp,
that's
Deadpool,
Venom.
Deadpool,
Venom.
What do we ever do?
It's such a... And then, of course, CW has all new seasons coming up, too, at the end of the year. So
no life is going to be had this summer.
Yeah, no. I hope you guys
no summer at all.
No, it looks really good. I love the twists and turns of it. If anybody could pull this off, Pixar, Disney, definitely.
Yeah.
Powerhouse, they took their time with it. It's very clear. They're keeping the old hands of like, it's a kind of the retro kind of 50s kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
The motif, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
I love that.
Fancy
I love it. It's
word.
cool. But it's coming out in a time where we got a lot of stuff going on.
We do. Yeah.
But this is a G superhero movie.
Oh yeah.
What a great way to bring the kids back in.
I mean, Des, what'd you think? Elastigirl getting the love there?
Oh, I'm down.
You're down.
Disney knows how to play a smart play, and like writing the story around a woman protagonist, like that's how you do stuff.
They took the clue. They did what all good comics do. They take a social aspect and they hit at it. They we're going to talk about it. We're going to do something with it.
And it's Pixar, so you know it's probably going to win an Oscar then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Other animated movies happening right now.
It doesn't matter.
Like it's kind of like if I had an anime movie in the work, I'd be like, let's push it till next year. Let's just render it out late.
Well, Des, we're going to stick with you because I know we got some video games coming up, and you got 2 minutes. No.
Oh, come on!
Big announcement. So much so. You texted me over the weekend saying it's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wow, that's exciting. A thing.
I was super pumped.
What happened? What's our big announcement?
Well, there's a small little game announcement that a little company known as Sega is coming out with.
More importantly, how do you pronounce it?
Shenmue.
Yeah, we're all discussing.
We're just talking about
Shenmue 1 and 2 remastered are going to be back in playable modes. For who? Who's going to get it? Xbox, PS4, PC?
Well,
Switch?
We got PS4. We got Xbox One. We've got PC. No Switch.
What?
No Switch.
No love. You don't get no love.
Man. Not yet. No. I assume maybe later.
But he actually is getting a little bit of love. Because since Sega was like, here's Shenmue 1, 2 HD remake coming out this year, by the way.
That's
We're going to drop another little nugget on you. We're going to give you a little Master System Mini.
Wow.
Also coming out.
Is there a date on that or just sometime this year?
I think sometime this year.
Sometime?
Also, they're also coming out with the a Genesis collection.
Oh, dope. Another one.
Yeah.
For the Switch.
Oh, just for the Switch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Will it have Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3?
It better.
It's better. Because I don't want to play Comic Rage.
There's no point
It's Sonic the Hedgehog and everything else.
Yeah.
There's Sonic and that's it.
So we got a bit of sound from the the game?
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at that.
Father! No!
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready to play some Planko? Because that's all I'm going to be playing. Because I never finished the second one because I got stuck playing Planko, and then it just. So I'm ready to play
I was
some
ready
Planko.
to do that barber scene, like where you're not supposed to touch the controller, but like you're tempted to I want to press the button. It's like don't press the button.
Sure. Very cool game. It's very. I don't think we'll have enough time between this and then the third one coming out. Because I know the first game is like 80 hours. The second game is like 177 hours. It's something ridiculous. And then the third game.
I'm kind of mad that also this didn't come with like a Dreamcast 2 announcement because that would have been. I would have loved that.
Too many shots in the room already. But with PS5 soon to be announced.
2020.
Yes,
That's what we're getting that.
Last but not least in the video games.
Huge game.
I don't think we need to say anything. I think we just put up the still of all the accolades that God of War has already received. It's not even out yet.
Looks like
Look
a
at
dope
all those
poster.
10s and 95.
Only got a 95.
Metacritic is sitting at 95 right now, and I'm pretty sure it's probably
cynical.
It's probably going to get a little higher than that.
Yeah, sure.
It might be at 96.
You are not getting any sleep, are you?
No. I'm going to be stuck in a Northland playing with a bearded Kratos and a little Atreus. That's what we're doing.
It's a whole thing, man.
Yeah.
God of War is probably the biggest game that comes out this year. I think it's safe to say.
I wouldn't go that far, considering October is like Red Dead 2.
I know.
What?
It's going to be up there, though.
It's going to be the biggest PS4 exclusive, I tell you that.
That's true. That's true. And then we might have a Super Smash Bros. At the end of the year, too.
That's true.
But I think right now, my money was on a game for Game of the Year. I think God of War.
Oh, yeah.
It's Ali's going to be a contender.
It's coming out there.
even before.
And it hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah, exactly.
We're still 4 days
on
away
top
from
of
even being
Kratos is just looking on top of the mountain like there's no one else above me.
Right. So, and they've already announced a sequel. Is coming too.
Wow.
That's how
that comes out next week.
Yeah, right.
I know, right?
So we'll see. We'll have Des will have a whole review on it. I know she'll power through this game real quick. Good luck.
Well, Rob, you have got some comics over there.
We got to
talk about some comics, and we're going to tease a little bit. But we got a comic that's got a huge anniversary coming up. But first, let's take a look at what you got.
So I got a few books this week. DC continues their trek into creating new superheroes with the New Age of Heroes. So Immortal Man, this book has been delayed, I think, 4 times, and finally releasing. It was supposed to be out in early December.
A lot of reshoots?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, all that Starfire business. But yeah, so these characters are, like the title says, they're immortal. They've been fighting this world-long battle that, against immortal villains as well. Sure. So they come to Earth to pick up this kid named Caden, who is supposedly the key to saving the world. So it's kind of a little all over the place, but it's still somewhat like all the New Age of Hero stuff has been in terms of being interesting to kind of get you to, well, I'll read the next issue to see what happens.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I don't think anyone wants any of these books to fail, so I think people are going to give these chances. And of course, it's Jim Lee on it. I don't know how long he'll be on the book. But
Right. I mean, that's always a powerhouse.
Right,
and then, of course, the characters involved with it are very interesting characters.
Yeah.
We don't see a whole lot of them, so.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
So,
cool.
I mean, I think it's just, it's a good time to be a fan right now.
Right. It really is. It really is.
This has got a James Bond feel to it.
Yeah, this one was one that I saw in the previews guide a while back, and I kind of picked it up just because I liked the Stalin type propaganda look to the cover. But so this book is about this guy named Carter, who was in a military black ops group. It seemed like he kind of had shades of like some kind of superhero deal, because they have him in a costume in the beginning in a flashback. And so now he's become like a mild-mannered sheriff in this small town. And this reporter shows up who's asking about this super secret project that only the Black Ops guys would know about.
Right. Of course.
And so instantly shaking his simple world to the core now, because he might be exposed for something that maybe he doesn't want to come to light. It's not a lot is given away in this book until like the exact end, like the last 2 pages, and then it's like, okay, now I definitely need to know what's going on in this book now.
Right.
So I definitely like the art style on it. It's Kyle Higgins
It's really cool.
writing it. So
I want to see this in a live-action series.
Yeah,
the more you pitch it, I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah,
on Amazon.
It feels like the Americans maybe. The way they are.
Exactly.
Yeah. The last one, Domino. Yes, Gail Simone is writing this, and she's been phenomenal in her career, writing Wonder Woman, all kinds of good books and stuff. But she takes on Domino, and obviously, if you aren't living under a rock, you know she's going to be in the new Deadpool film. So,
this is DC or Marvel putting all their guns in there, like, hey,
exactly, yeah.
You need to know about this character. Let's throw our biggest record.
They always do a great job of introducing characters or getting you familiar with characters that maybe you might not know a lot about. So basically, she's a mercenary. They give you a quick origin here, too. So she's a mercenary who benefits a lot from luck. That's kind of really her power, I guess. So,
if it was Fallout, she has a 10 in luck and like a 3 in knowledge.
Exactly, yeah. So, but she's great. You kind of get some cameos in here. You know, Deadpool and Dazzler. I know Des loves Dazzler.
Right.
But you kind of get a cool story going on. Real quick, it goes to like heck. She's in a project trying to pick up this mutant, and it kind of goes bad real quick.
I mean, that kind of has to happen. It's not a comic book and everything is cool.
It's kind of
everything is awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun satire on because they keep hitting home about the luck and how she's lucky and can do all this stuff. But it's her birthday and everything's going wrong. So it's kind of like one of those things of like, I don't know if it really works all the time.
Oh yeah.
But it's pretty fun though.
And then a big anniversary this week.
Yeah, a small book is coming out this week. Action Comics 1000, the 1000th issue of the staple for DC Comics. 80 years of Superman is being celebrated this Wednesday.
Wow.
So bring your wallets to the comic book shop because they're putting a huge oversized comic out that is going to be $8 and is going to have 11 stories written and drawn by some of the top guys in the business.
Sure.
So this came out this week, and this is a celebration of the 80 years. So they took some of the biggest stories from Action Comics, and you're talking about introductions of the first Supergirl, first Brainiac, all kinds of really cool stories like that.
The Crypto.
But the biggest thing in here is they have an unreleased, never before seen story written and drawn by Joe Siegel and Jerry Schuster.
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
the
Really
original
cool.
creators of Superman.
Sure.
So that's just the fact that it's never been seen before. Where has this thing been? So it's really cool. You even get a forward from Jerry Siegel's daughter in here. So it's kind of interesting to see the family.
This is always my
getting
favorite time of
involved
year when we get to talk about stuff like this. It all started with Action Comics #1.
Yes.
I mean, we wouldn't be here.
I mean, essentially, that's the one that kind of kicked off the comic book genre, the superhero genre.
And it's kind of interesting because the stories they pick, a lot of them use the old artwork, like are from the original Action. They even have Action #1 in here. So,
right. So you can finally get to read it.
If you don't have $3 million laying around, you can read Action
And even if
Comics
you
#1.
did, are you opening that case up and
Exactly.
reading it? No. There you go.
But yeah, so this is just a great book. And then obviously, if you're not doing anything Wednesday, come on in. And there's 10 different copies coming out, 10 different covers, I'm sorry, that each celebrate the years that he's been around. So the 30s, 40s, 50s, they have one for each era, or for each decade, I'm sorry.
I need to get a 90s with his sweet long hair.
Yeah. It is
Straight
actually,
up, that's my favorite Superman.
It is very 90s.
It is very 90s.
Yeah,
I mean, to put this, I was a guest on the Get Your Geek On, and we talked to Dan Jurgens, who obviously did the Death of Superman and been writing over for the last 30 years. And
he even has a cover coming out. He drew one of the covers that's going to be out.
Cool.
So I think it might be the 90s one, if I'm not mistaken.
I hope so. That makes sense.
So what you're saying is that I don't have to come to work on Wednesday. I can just go down and hear some fantasy.
You can come down. Yeah, exactly.
Technically, I'm still working.
Yeah,
that's
there we
right.
go. For science.
Well, Rob, we got a question to one of our Rob Castilla, and he's staying in the DC Comics. He's asking about Jeff Johns. Has he peaked back in the DC New era, 52 era?
A lot of people believe so. I mean, obviously, after New 52, he didn't really write anything for a while. He kind of stepped back and took more of a role with the movies and kind of almost like a Jim Lee-esque role for DC as well, where he was kind of some kind of mentor, or, but he did help craft the Rebirth era right now. Everyone loves Rebirth. It's doing such a great job. He sat down personally with every writer and artist and planned out the next 2 years of books at the time.
I think that's the core. Like when you want to get a great comic book, when you want a great story, you have to have someone to oversee the whole thing. Marvel does it in the MCU. I mean, very meticulously they do it in the MCU.
I guess to get back to his question, it may be because maybe he might need to be somewhat of an editor instead or something.
Sure.
But I mean, and right now he was writing Doomsday Clock, and to be honest, like Doomsday Clock was probably one of the most long-awaited stories and comics.
Controversial.
Yeah,
and controversial.
But it's also getting a lot of bad press, though. I mean, and not just from Alan Moore, but I mean,
I said it myself. I'm very critical of that comic because of the Alan Moore factor.
People are frustrated. It's become a bi-monthly book, so it releases every other month now. After the second issue, so it's like they're hitting it 1 month after another, and then. Now they run the risk of getting forgotten because there's so many good books coming out right now.
That's absolutely the case.
And then if they leave you on maybe a bad book or a bad issue or something, then now you have to wait 2 months to see if it's going to get better or not.
Sure.
Yep.
And, well, I know we got to wrap it up, but I know we wanted our superhero spotlight was the Action Comics #1, and that's one of those issues that started it all, and one of the reasons I guess that everybody here is here.
Is he stealing that comic book? And he has
he is stealing it. So
we're not
one of those ones that goes on
thievery.
sale every once in a while, like you said, about $3 million if you want to get it. But it's one of those comics that you just want to go out and just read if you get a chance.
Mini version on Etsy right now.
Yes, there you go. Well, again, this is our show. We're wrapping it up. You can catch the CW Comic Book Crew at 12:30 p.m. every Monday. And I first want to go ahead and say a farewell.
That's right, man.
We've got our Brandon.
This is my last show. Next week we'll have the Avengers special.
Yes, we do. We have our Avengers special.
I will be on the Avengers special. That'll be my last hurrah. But this is our last normal show.
And kind of tell people you're heading out to the country music.
I'm headed
capital.
to Nashville, man. My family. It's a good move. It's a good chess move, as I like to say. And we're moving. This is my my last Monday. Friday, my Forever Friday. I'm gonna be a stay-at-home dad. I'm gonna hang out and. Read comics and watch Netflix, and pretty much what I do already, just without a paycheck.
Well, we're going to tap into you. We're going to try and tap into you every once in a while, and maybe we can get you a
But it's been
guest
cool, man.
sometimes.
I want to leave with at least some cool words and stuff like that. A few years back, a lot of rough times in my household, and one thing that I never wanted to do was do another thing like this. And Chris, your passion, Des, your passion, Rob, your passion, literally pulled me back into doing something I said I would never do again. It's cool to be here. It's cool to have something that we can all talk about and love, because that's what comic books is about. That's what it's about. Sure. It's not about the pages, not about the characters. It's about the love, because no one gets frustrated and hates on something that they don't love. And that's just that simple. If you don't care about it, you're not going to read it.
Exactly.
Wolverine's a great example. Superman, Batman, any of those big characters, the reason people are so passionate about it is because they are passionate about it and they love it. Yes, and that's why we're here, and that's why we're all here to bring it to you guys, because we love it.
Well, we loved having you on here. I mean, you have been an integral part, and you've kind of been the heart and soul of this this program here, getting it off the ground. So
I'm like the Bret Hart.
You are.
I am like the excellence. No,
without the sweet mullet.
Without the mullet.
All right.
Owen has the mullet.
We will see you next week. Of course, we've got our Avengers special, 12:30.
It's awesome.
On the
It's
CW35.
awesome.
I caught a glimpse of it, and you cannot wait.
It's amazing.
To see it.
Stay after the credits.
Yes.
Stay after the credits.
Again, Avengers Infinity War special next week, 12:30 p.m. on the CW35 Facebook page. See you later, everybody.
Hit my sweet music. Close that door.